Welcome back to another episode
of Living Beyond Limits
where we widen down
and level up
together.
together.
So today, guys, we have a special guest or a second time guest coming on. Everyone knows Sharaya. Welcome, Sharaya.
Welcome.
Today, we felt we wanted to bring her on, talk about her life and share what she feels comfortable, and share how she feels she has worked on living beyond the limits and continues to live on beyond the limits.
Okay.
So, Sharaya, welcome.
So, the first question we want to ask you is, where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up a little bit in Manhattan, a little bit in the Bronx, a lot in Queens, a lot in Brooklyn as well.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask, what led you to like experiencing all those different places to live?
Different life experiences,
Mm-hmm.
like being in the system as a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
living with my mom and my ex stepdad, staying with my father for a little bit when I was younger. Um, Brooklyn because of foster care, and Brooklyn as an adult, Queens as an adult. Um, Different life experiences caused me to have to shuffle and move different places within the five boroughs.
Can I ask, how was it growing up in the system for you?
Let's see. Well, I went through like 14 different homes in the span of like 5 to 4 years. So that was difficult moving from place to place. Different people, different foster parents. Sometimes a two-parent household, a foster parent, sometimes just a female taking care of foster kids. Yeah, that was my experience. I didn't go through too many trouble in a lot of those homes, like in regards to bullying or fighting or anything like or abuse. Um, I guess that was a foster parents who really didn't care. They were just concerned about getting a check every month, and that's what they were concerned about. So it was kind of hard to navigate because in the system during that time, like in 1999 to the early 2000s, the foster parents would only get a check for you, but they will only give you what it says for you to get, what the state says a child should get. So if it was $68, that's all you got for the month was $68, and you weren't allowed to ask for anything else besides that. So that was kind of hard trying to get a perm in my hair, plus get clothes and have hygiene items for only $58. But I survived that, and I'm here.
Definitely shows your strength. So I don't know what it is to live in this system, but I worked for 3 4 years, as a social worker. How do you think your disability played into how the experience for you being in the
I
system?
don't think my disability played a part in how I was treated in foster care. Other factors probably played a part how the household was, not my disability. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have any like positive moments
Yes.
living in foster
So
care?
I went through 14 homes, and out of the 14 foster homes, I wound up in. Actually, the lady worked for my old school as an occupational therapist, and I went into her house I stayed at her house for 10 months. But it was the best 10 months of my life, and the best foster home I've been in. But it wasn't a foster home; it was a home. I was a part of the family. I was her daughter, still am today, which I'm grateful for. Yeah, that was one of the best experiences because whatever I needed, it was provided. If I needed a new lotion, I got a new lotion. I didn't even have to go say I need lotion. It's in the closet. Oh, I want to make me a cup of tea. Why are you asking for a cup of tea? Because this is your house. You don't have to ask for those things. Or I want tuna fish. You want tuna fish? Go in the kitchen and make it. Like certain things like that. I never had to ask for it. Other homes, they will shut down the kitchen, or they will tell you can't go in the kitchen past this time. But in her house, if I want to go in the kitchen, I can take what I want and go about my business. Never had to ask for those things. So that was one of the best homes that I was in. Whatever I needed, I had. If I needed clothes, we went shopping. Went to King Plaza Mall in Brooklyn. Went shopping. Went to Gateway Mall in Brooklyn. Went shopping. Whatever I needed was provided. Mm-hmm.
And growing up, like, what was your school life like? Being in like
Well,
foster
because
care.
of me moving so many times in my life, I went to a lot of different schools, and because of my behavior in school, because I had an intellectual disability and I had some behavioral issues too, it caused me to change schools as well. So, um, my experience in school, I did go through some bullying because of my disability and because of maybe how short my hair was back then. Um, they would call me names like Shanae or crippled, and what I want to do is slow down because you're not gonna talk to me like that, and I'm gonna handle myself correctly when you come to me. Because I'm disabled don't mean I can't go down. So I was afraid to fight everybody, including the teachers. I didn't care who you were, and so that was part of my experience. I used to get in so much trouble, but they would be calling in my house, or they have this timeout room that they send you to when you misbehave, and I was always in it because I was always doing something, or something happened where I got into a fight or I cursed at the teacher because they're gonna call my house. So it was sometimes rough, and there's some good moments. I had one paraprofessional who he didn't know I had a crush on him at the time, but he was always protecting me from getting in trouble, always. Charles Doré was his name. He always protected me from getting in trouble in school. He was like, I got her. Yeah, I ain't got to do nothing. I got her. And he would take me for the whole day, and I don't have to worry about those other teachers. So, um, some good experiences. In schools, different schools, I've sung for like their graduations and stuff of my own. There are a lot of like singing, talent shows, and things of that nature. Those were the fun experiences in school. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Um, and like, did you see a difference or growth within yourself from like elementary to middle school to high school?
Oh yeah. I'm not the ghetto-fied Sharaya anymore. I'm not the little um 13, 14-year-old girl who goes around cursing at everybody anymore. I'm 38 years old now. I know how to handle myself in a certain manner now that I'm a full adult. I know how to advocate for myself way better than what I did back in the day. And I don't let people tell me, I can't do something, or because of my disability, it's impossible to do that particular thing. Like growing up when I was in foster care, they were like, "Oh, you're not gonna be able to live on your own. You're gonna be in a group home, or you're gonna be in a support apartment." Currently, right now, I'm living on my own, which is a great thing to be somebody with a disability and all these quote unquote limitations they say that we have, but they put on us as well. Um, it's great that I'm living on my own.
What you have a
Yeah.
question? What like resources or things you felt helped you in your growth besides like people? Was there anything else that helped you?
So as far as me changing like the way I carry myself or my attitude or whatever you want to call it, the way I carry myself, I personally see a therapist, which I know that has helped me. Like one I've seen practically almost 20 years of my life. That has really helped me change the way I carry myself, the way I speak, the way I don't curse everybody out anymore. So seeing a therapist can be very helpful. Finding a good friend to talk to can be helpful. Listening to a podcast can be helpful. Playing music can be helpful too to help you throughout this life. Journaling is important. Those type of things.
Did a lot of the because you mentioned a lot about like the cursing and the fighting. Did you have like a lot of anger within yourself
Well, as of right now, I don't think there's a lot of anger, but
in the
back in the
past?
day,
Yeah.
oh yeah, because I was going through a lot back in the day, like too much as a teenager, too much as a preteen, younger, even younger than that. So yes, I did have a lot of anger. Yeah, because I've been through a lot, and if you're not able to share your feelings with certain people, you're not gonna be able to let it out. So you're gonna have anger inside of you because you're not able to release it. You guys are therapists, so you guys know
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
sometimes people hold things.
Yeah.
If you can't let them out, they're gonna be filled with anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What? So you said you had found a lot of resources. What
So
do you?
so as far as resources, if
Mhm.
I can, like I said, seeing a therapist is one. In
Yeah.
order, like, for me to get an apartment, I'll have to go to OPWDD, which is
Okay.
Office of People with Disabilities. Get a care manager. That care manager helps you get services, so
Mm-hmm.
such as self direction, such as ISS. So self direction is a program that helps you get a separate budget from your own money, and they give you money for your rent, your light, your gas, your Wi-Fi, your gym bill,
Mm-hmm.
your car fare, your groceries if you don't get food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That connected you to a therapist.
no, my therapist didn't connect me to it. No, not my therapist. Actually, a high school teacher
Mm-hmm.
introduced me to an agency called HeartShare. HeartShare helped me get a supportive apartment in 2006 when I was 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I went from homelessness to having a two-bedroom apartment with well, I had a room and she had a room, but we had a two-bedroom apartment, me
Mm-hmm.
and a roommate, back in 2006.
Okay.
So it's my school actually helped me. A school teacher, her name was Miss Sowell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It sounds like you had some good supportive people that really connected you.
Back then, yeah, I had some
Mm-hmm.
people that connected me. That was really good that she was able to do that.
Yeah.
Do you advise like people who probably have went through the same thing as you have? Do you advise people to really hold on to a really good support system?
I'm so sorry. Billy was able to hear that question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, with people who have probably gone through the same thing as you have, do you feel like holding on to a really good support system is really good
Is
for you?
important.
Yes. Having someone you can talk to is very important. Um, it can be a therapist, a friend, um, maybe even a pastor or somebody that you're close to in your community that you feel comfortable talking to. It's good to have supports. I know for a fact if I didn't know Christ, that would be I wouldn't be able to make it through everything I've been through. If I didn't have good friends like Charlene, Cherise, Allison, Matthew, some of these things I go through in life, I probably wouldn't be able to go through with other people besides them. It's good to have a good support system.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have people that stay in your life for a long time, but it actually makes a difference. It's not where they stay for a few years and that's it. But
Mm-hmm.
long lasting relationships what do help
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
better somebody's life.
That's powerful words. Very.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it speaks to the resilience you have in yourself as well. Because to go, I've known you for a long time, and I think to go through what you're going through and still allow people to come in and still trust people
Mhm.
to a certain level to help you, that's amazing strength.
And it's not an easy, to be honest, it's not an easy thing to let everybody in or to allow people in. You also have to be mindful
Yeah,
who you allow in your circle,
yeah,
who you allow in your space, because you
Yeah.
don't know what they're up to. You don't know everybody's motives, number one.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
Very
know,
true.
um, just be mindful who you allow in your circle.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important.
Mm-hmm.
If you can let
Yeah.
the wrong person in and then they don't belong there, then they destroy help you. They destroy your life. If you
Mm-hmm.
let the wrong person in
I mean, I think
your
watching
circle.
you grow over the years, I've seen you like really become very aware of like people around you and very like choosing right people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that comes from the strength that you're building
Right.
daily in yourself, and I think because you are accepting yourself more daily, like you know who to allow and who not to allow,
Right.
and that's amazing to watch. And I
Right.
think that people out there need to know, that it's important to accept yourself so that you know who to allow around you and who not.
I do
Yeah.
want to say this, right? People with disabilities, you don't only have to have friends who are disabled. You can have a friend who doesn't have a disability at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can name two in the room that are not disabled that we are friends. Allison and Matthew. We are friends, right? But they don't have disabilities. You don't have to have a friend that only has a disability. You
Mm-hmm.
can have friends who are not disabled.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Very true.
I guess also, now that you have gotten like accomplished certain things in your life thus
Hmm.
far and have gotten a lot of the help that you have, do you help out other people now, maybe at your job or people you work with,
Hmm.
or do you share some of the information with others?
Okay, yes. I do some work with a nonprofit called Do for One. Do for One is an organization that helps people with disabilities to have friends who don't have disabilities. It is founded by Andrew Oliver. He's one of my good friends. What they do is they pair people who are disabled with people who are not disabled. But it's not a job; it's a friendship. So the person who is the person who is disabled is called the partner, and the person who's not disabled is called the advocate. The advocate is a friend without a disability. So that friend without the disability hangs out with that person. Maybe go to the movies, go to Starbucks, go have a picnic, go on a vacation. They're doing this not for money, but to be somebody's friend.
Mm.
Because many people with disabilities, like I said before, only have friends who get paid to provide them with a service, and that is like a care manager, a contact worker, a DSP, a direct support staff, a home health aide. That's the only things that they know because
Mm-hmm.
they get paid to
It's
provide them with
true.
service. So of course they're gonna come when they're supposed to come. They're gonna come
Mm-hmm.
from that 9 to 3 shift and stay with them all those hours, and
Mm-hmm.
they think that that's their friend. In reality, that's just somebody that's getting paid because after that clock is up over, they can't call them on the phone like I need your help
Mm-hmm.
because they're not on the clock. But with a friend, I can call Charlene, I can probably call Cherise, I can call Alice, and I can call Matthew when I need to, or other friends that I may have. I
Mm-hmm.
can be like, "Hi, what's up? How are you? How are you doing today?"
Mm-hmm.
Just calling to check in. But those other people that get paid, they're not gonna call. They're not gonna care. They're gonna wait till the next time they gotta clock in. Stay with you until you clock out. Make sure your goals are checked off. Your house got clean. They make you your dinner. They make you your lunch, and that's it. That's all they're concerned about. It's about that 9 to 3 or that 9 to 5 shift.
Mm-hmm.
Not about what happens at 12 o'clock at night or what happens at 12 at night. You got to go to the registry.
That's
You don't
true.
find people who really care like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's an amazing program. I do know a little bit about it. And maybe we can put a link down in the
Yeah.
comment
Yeah,
area.
for sure.
Um,
Who
I will have to find the information, but I will
Okay, no
Yeah.
give
problem.
it to you
Yeah,
guys.
Yeah.
I'll help you find it.
It's really good.
I think it's good research for people to know
Hmm.
about.
And it sounds like you enjoy working there too.
So it's a volunteer thing. Like for them right now, I run the front desk for them. Sometimes like a side hustle, and also if they have a person with a disability who needs like housing or some kind of special program, because I work for a nonprofit that helps people with disabilities, they will just tell them how to get that service for those people with that are part of Do for One.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's amazing to see your growth and to see like how much you want, like you've learned to advocate for yourself, and that's like spilling over to you helping people advocate for themselves.
I want to speak on advocating for a minute, if that's okay with you.
Sure, yes.
So now I got a second job with my sorry. I got a second job with the people that I work with now. So I actually teach self advocacy every other Tuesday after my regular shift is over. So I teach a class from about 5 to 6:30 on how to advocate for yourself, or how to maybe set some boundaries, um, writing down your goals, maybe, or how can you learn to trust people, or different things people with disabilities need to learn. So it's about a group of 16 people that come out,
Wow.
sometimes more, that I teach some kind of class,
Hmm.
but it has to do with self advocacy. So yeah.
That's amazing.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and if you have any information for that too, I know people
Yes,
are.
definitely. With that one, as far as I know, if you want to come to that, I can definitely give a number or something,
Yeah.
and the person can reach out to me, then I can figure out if they could be a part of it or not.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah, if you give me the information, I'll link it down in the description box for you guys to take a look at it,
Mm-hmm.
and just see if you guys need any information, out there writing on.
Okay.
Um, any other
I mean,
questions you have for
lastly, is there
Sharaya?
anything you did speak about briefly, like you living on your own and you kind of managing everything on your own? How's that been?
So I've been doing this now with an apartment since I was about 20 years old. I would say sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. It all depends on what I'm doing. If I got to carry a lot of groceries without a shopping cart, I'm in trouble. Um, if you like, I used to live in a place where it was 45 steps up and 45 steps down.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine carrying the groceries
That's
or
a
trying
lot.
to push the cart
That's a
down
lot.
the stairs. I used to have to take the laundry bags and pick them down,
And she used to do it. I remember.
Pick
Pick
them
them
down the
stairs,
pick them
Sharaya.
down the stairs, and go back up. Go get the shopping cart. Bring that down first. That's difficult. So I want to say this: when you have
Wow.
limitations, try your best to find a place that is either low level
Yes.
that or has an elevator, because it can be so difficult to
Yeah.
carry that stuff with cerebral palsy or
Mm-hmm.
MS or any of those other disabilities that are physical
Mhm.
disabilities.
That's true.
Um,
And I will say, like, I feel for you because it's like I know that like I live in a building that has an elevator, but like I do visit people who don't have elevators, and they live in a walk up too, and I will have to climb like stairs to go up to their apartment, and it makes you realize how not accessible New York really is.
yes,
Because it's only a few buildings in each borough that has like elevators or that is accessible.
yes, they definitely need to make more accessible buildings, which they are doing.
They trying. I see it.
They're trying,
Yeah,
but they need to do better.
exactly.
You're amazing. Like,
Wow,
I think,
that's amazing. Cause I could
Yes.
never like.
Well, not anymore. I don't have to. I don't have to
yeah,
lug.
she lives in an elevator.
I don't have to lug bags up and down without an elevator anymore. As of I think 2 years ago, almost I think almost 3 now.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 3 years ago, I was able to get an apartment that had an elevator and a laundry room inside of it. Which is right. It's currently next to the mall, which is not like really good.
And to have a laundry room in your building is a luxury.
On the same floor, so
yeah.
Is it pretty good?
I'm grateful for that. Yeah, I'm grateful that I have overcame a lot of things in life and still trying to navigate through some things. But I'm glad that I didn't let those negative things affect me for the rest of my life.
That's what I was gonna say.
I persevered through, like I said, foster care, having cerebral palsy, even homelessness. I didn't even mention that, but even homelessness I had to push through. But those things didn't destroy who Sharaya is. Like, I'm very strong, beautiful black woman, who tries her best to take care of herself, be a friend to other people, be a listening ear to people as well. That's who I am. A strong person, and sometimes sometimes when we say a woman is strong, they don't choose to be that way. Sometimes they just have to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
They don't choose to be. They have no choice but to be. So that's really all I have to say, unless you have any more questions for me.
No, I just want to applaud you for it, and I think you're very, very amazing.
I agree.
And yeah, and you continue to keep persevering until you haven't given up on anything. So
I have a favorite poem. It's called Our Deepest Fears, and in the poem,
I love that one.
It talks about how when we give ourselves permission to like shine our light and work through the hard times in our life, we give other people the same permission. And I think that's what your life does. Like your strength, your perseverance gives other people that who may not want to or who may think that they couldn't the permission to keep going, to find the strength within them. And that's powerful.
It's not an easy thing to go through all of that I've been through. And I can just say this, to have good friends is important. Like I said, support is very important. And knowing yourself and knowing what you need. You need to see a therapist, get one. Matter of fact, get two. Figure it out. Get a journal. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Figure it out. Find a good friend, like I said, get a journal. See a therapist. Matter of fact, see two therapists. Get the help that you need. Disabled or not, get the help you need.
Don't stop pushing until you find that peace.
Okay.
Thank you. That was very powerful.
Very powerful.
And I think I even learned a lot from some of the resources that you shared too. So
sorry, I have to say this. The resources that I mentioned in regards to self-direction, ISS grant. Those services you cannot get those services if you don't have an intellectual disability. You cannot get them. If you just have a physical one,
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I made a mistake.
No,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If you have a physical disability only and not an intellectual disability, you cannot get those services.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll emphasize it in the description.
Yeah, it's important for people to know.
Yeah.
Okay, you cannot get those services. You cannot get the self-direction grant. You can't get ISS. None of that.
Okay. Yeah.
You have to have an intellectual disability in order to get those services.
Gotcha.
It's important for people to know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we even like had an episode on like the various types of disabilities because like you know we know that some people have physical ones, some people have the developmental ones.
Mhm.
So it's good to know. I will emphasize that when I list the resources in the description box, I will also put you know like a description of what is required to be part of those resources as well. But thank you, Sharaya.
Guys,
Thank you
welcome.
so much.
I want to say thank you again for having me on this episode. Hope you guys got some insight on me and how to navigate in this world with a disability.
Yeah. And if you have any follow-up questions for Sharaya, please put them in the comments.
Yeah.
And we might have her on for a third time if she's not tired of us right now. So yes,
For sure.
please comment below. There might be some follow-up questions you might have, and I'm sure she's willing to answer whatever she feels comfortable with. So,
All right. Thank you guys.
we really appreciate you. Continue to like, share,
comment,
and subscribe.
subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.